Hello everybody, my name is Mark Cutter and I'll be running in the City Council elections here in Lancaster for the Castle Ward as an independent candidate. People have been asking me why I'm running and what my policies are and what I'm interested in, and instead of producing a lot of flyers to basically have people throw away once they've looked at them, which seems to be what happens to most of the party political material that comes through people's doors, I want to produce a series of video blogs and social media outputs to encourage people to reflect on democracy here in the city and hopefully spend one of your two votes in the Castle Ward on me as an independent who's running for issues relative to the city and the city alone. Lancaster Guardian recently described me as a lawyer and social scientist by profession, a wine merchant and publican of Lancaster by accident, and a consultant in my not-so-spare time. And to be honest, that's a pretty good description. I like to add, so I'm just laughing at the pigeon that you've all just seen fly across the shop. I like to add that I'm also a father of four, and those things keep me pretty busy. And many of you will know that, of course, I run the Robert Gillow on Market Street, and the Duke Joint, as it's now called, used to be called the Lord Ashton on North Road, and the Bottle Shop here in Lancaster. So I'm very committed to Lancaster from a small business point of view. I also have a consultancy firm here in the city which specialises in research that benefits the disadvantaged. And we do lots of different interesting bits of social science research, and that's called One World Analytics, which I run with a couple of colleagues, having formerly worked at both universities here in the city, actually. And that is me in a nutshell. Many of you may not know that in addition I've done in the past quite a lot of charity work, having been a governor and director of the Royal National College for the Blind for 10 years. I've been a member of the probation board for Cumbria for 10 years. That was then merged to become the probation, they've changed the name, it's not a probation board anymore, but a probation something for Lancashire and Cumbria as part of the adjustments to criminal justice in the country. And at that point I actually retired from both those boards so I could focus a little bit more on activities in Lancaster. I've been very heavily involved in the Lancaster Music Festival, which of course brings hundreds and thousands, well, thousands at least, of people into the city of Lancaster. And I've also was involved with the Folly Institute, and I'm on the board of its successor organisation, which looks after the intellectual property that was developed from that really fantastic arts organisation, which unfortunately, due to cuts in arts funding, had to ultimately close down. So very much involved in the city, run 4 businesses here, and raise 4 children here, socialise here, try to be part of a community here. And the key tenets of my campaign are that we need to focus on creating community here in the city centre and its surrounding streets and green spaces. We need to focus on creating culture so that the city is not seen really as a net exporter of tourism. I'm always really worried about this at weekends and other times of year during school holidays. The city, when the university is not here, the city suddenly becomes a little bit of a ghost town. We've got huge cultural assets here in the city. The castle, which is now been returned to the duchy, and I'm sitting here in Sun Square at the moment with where Atkinsons of course have their music room, and we've got huge cultural assets, fantastic spaces, and I'd like to see Lancaster really investing in its arts, its music, its heritage in order to create a new world space here in Lancaster that sees us as an international centre for culture and the arts. Thank you. As I said, I'm just here in Sun Square having a coffee while I record this, which is the first of what will hopefully be about 20 video logs introducing me and my campaign ideas to Castle Ward. I think that was all my key ideas. Oh no, wait a minute. Crime was the other thing I was interested in. Easily distracted by a cup of coffee. Crime. We've got a great policing team in the city centre. Community policing team, fantastic. 2 great PCSOs, and I'd really like to see us working as a city council, debating whether to pause the video here. Working as a city council with the police and crime commissioner, or whoever ends up being in charge, to increase that. Let's have a little bit more safety in the city centre. Let's fix the CCTV system that protects us. Let's make sure that our children and ourselves are able to walk down the street without being victims of antisocial behaviour or, worse, crime. I had one of my buildings burgled in the last 12 months. It was burgled 4 times by the same groups of individuals, and it very nearly put that business out of business. I took a decision. I stood there and I looked at all the vacant shops, and I said, right, we've got a choice. We either close the business, give the keys back to the brewery, or we try to do something to make it a new space. And that's why the Lord Ashton, which had more or less been the victim of both burglary and arson, became the juke joint. So, I think we need to look around a little bit at the city, look at its empty units, see what's happening there, and see what we can do to encourage people to open new businesses. And if that's what we want, I think it is. I think Lancaster should be about vibrant small business and big business as well, but it should be about a vibrant sense of community and not just another generic city centre. And to do that, we need to make decisions that actually work well to support the development of small business. So we've seen, for example, in the last 12 months, decisions to dig up roads and pavements, which have ultimately served the city well in the long term, but I can say have also closed down businesses. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt, and have also affected the turnover of existing small businesses. And we cannot say that we need to support local business and then at the same time see decisions made in such a way that puts those at risk. So over the next few weeks, I will be exploring these issues of culture, commerce, crime, and most importantly, community in this series of video logs, with a hope that I will encourage you to think about voting once for me for the city, because you get 2 votes here in this ward, and spend your second vote in the national party that you're hoping to support in the general election. Because one thing I will say, one of the most important things for all of us is that we are lucky enough to have the right to vote in this country, and I strongly encourage anybody who isn't already registered to vote to get online and vote. Get registered to vote, and you can do that very easily at www.gov.uk, and all you need is your national insurance number. I'm training my staff, the Robert Gillow, to be able to help people to do that, and you've got until April the 20th to get registered. And if you are registered to vote, come out and vote. Make a choice. Say who you'd like to be making decisions, both locally and also in the national general election. Thank you very much, and I hope you'll enjoy this and future video logs.